Hi, this is Nancy Chanteau, and this is the second video of the Thought Cleanse series. I wanted to share with you today about practice and the power of practice, and just talk a little bit more about what it means when we're trying to make a change. When we're starting something, um, the data shows that a brand new practice, something that we're doing for the first time, it takes about 300 repetitions to get that into our muscle memory, something that we can then easily do. And when we are trying to change from one thing to another, when we're trying to switch our practice from, for example, thinking negative thoughts to thinking no thoughts, as we are doing in the thought cleanse, it will take way more repetitions in order to get that new change embodied, because we're already embodied in one practice. We're already doing something successfully. We have to actually stop doing that thing and start doing something new. And every time we accidentally do the old practice. They talk about this in the Suzuki method with learning violin. If a student makes a mistake in the practice of a musical piece, they'll have the student practice that same thing 30 times in order to not set that mistake into muscle memory. And you could do that. You could definitely, every time you notice yourself making a mistake, try and do 30 reps, right, one after the other, of doing that section correctly. That can be difficult because you make a mistake again and you have to start that 30 reps over. And making a mistake or embodying that mistake produces a fair amount of reinforcement of the original practice. So the data shows that it takes 3,000 repetitions to switch from one thing to another when we're stopping one practice and starting another practice, even though it only takes 300. So that's 10 times the effort to switch from one practice to another. And so we have to be, when we're trying to do a change, when we're trying to go from doing one thing to go to doing another, we really have to be patient with ourselves. And that self-patience, one of the most potent mental sets of consciousness, worldview, way of looking at ourselves, is to look at ourselves from that wise adult consciousness, from a spacious place where we're able to observe ourselves, see what's true and what's not true, and what's also true about what we're doing, and be compassionate. We're much more likely to be able to make change from there when we're not loading anything onto the change process. We're just dispassionately watching ourselves do something and redirecting our attention to doing the thing we want to do, redirecting our attention away from doing the thing we don't want to do, and being as kind as possible. There's so much less burden than if we go, dang it, I can't believe I did that. Why did I do that? I must be so stupid. There's something wrong with me. I can't believe that I'm still doing this old thing. So all of that extra energy that we put into berating ourselves or being hard on ourselves is energy that we don't have for the change process. We really want to keep our focus on what we're trying to change to, rather than what we're failing to change from, and rather than, on the possibility of making the change rather than on failure. And as we do that, just lightening our load, having less to carry, fewer thoughts to stop, and less work to do in order to get where we want to go. So do the best you can as you're going through this change process to support yourself to the maximum of your capability, to be as kind and compassionate with yourself as possible, to not worry about how long it's taking for you to embody this, because it's going to take a while. And, if you're counting your reps, you'll see what your daily rate is. You'll be able to see, oh, well, if I'm doing 20 reps a day, it's going to probably take me, somewhere in the 100-day range in order to get this change. That's going to be 3 months and 3.5 months. And that's fine. 3.5 months, think about how long you've been practicing negative thinking. And 3.5 months is a nanosecond relative to 30 years or something like that. So I hope this video helps you stay the course, continue practicing, really focus on your stopping practice, adding your gesture, whatever it is that you're doing to stop your thoughts. And if you're writing them down and categorizing them, keep doing that as well. I'm not going to add anything more until we get a little further in, so you get some deep embodiment, deep practice of stopping your thoughts. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'd love to be able to interact directly with you around what it is you're struggling with, what you're learning, what you're noticing. Thanks very much, and keep up the good work.